Good evening, campers.
How do?
Hello.
He's all right.
All right.
Hey, how you doing?
I started to panic there. I couldn't see that it was on. I'm thinking, why is it not on my channel? I'm thinking, have I done this wrong? I thought, is it Friday or is it Wednesday? Have I messed up? I think I messed up, but it's not. It's on there live. How are yous?
Yeah, very well, thank you. Very good. Very warm as always.
It's all warm. So, Mark, whereabouts are you tonight?
I'm back home in Stoke, but I've been
Oh.
out to Llandudno for the day.
Clan who?
Llandudno. You can probably tell because there's all spit marks over my camera now.
Was that not the dog?
With the phlegm.
No. Suzanne, how are you?
I'm fine. I'm at home after a busy day. Doing very little. Just running CPD sessions for work, and yeah, I'm just a little bit too warm. Need the weather to be good, but a little less heat.
Yes, it is a bit. It's still warm here, so it is. You got a day off today, Jimmy?
I have, yeah. Sorry I missed Wednesday, work commitments. I couldn't get anyone to do it, but I am back, and I'm back next week, so that's good. But yeah,
Yeah, because sorry, I was going to say it's the theme week next week, so it is.
yes, it is. I'm very excited about theme
Transportation.
week. Yeah, it'd be a good one.
I think there might be a Ferrari in there somewhere.
No. Might be a Ferrari in there. Might be a Ferrari. Might be.
Yeah, I tell you what,
Or-
there's no trains.
No,
or a
no
ferry.
trains.
Or the ferry, yeah, the ferry and the trains both got kicked off.
No, the
Because
ferry's still there, mate.
Is it? Oh yeah, the
Yeah.
ferry's there. Sorry, it's me, Dave, and Jackie's. Ours isn't there anymore. We thought we'd get ours in there. Jim wants to know, show on a Friday. Yes, Jim. It's just general drone chat, so it is. John, you been flying today?
No, because we're going tomorrow at 3:30 in the morning. So I've not said where we're going, but
No. It's just the way you were about to say what time it was. Jimmy's just said, yeah, it's Tony o'clock.
Sorry, o'clock.
Oh,
I know
no,
what your times are.
it is stupid o'clock. But I guess that what will be nice,
Michael?
be nice and fresh and cool. So, but I've not flown now for 2 or 3 days. I've been doing this editing for the time I had 2 days at the jet ski, the water park, which was quite a good laugh with those guys there. So I came back and I kind of did a deal with them that I would do the video and some footage for the social media team. And in return, they're going to give me all the events and their competitions. So it works both ways. And this afternoon, as I showed you earlier, I was just doing all the framework, all the pictures that I sell of all the shots from the drone. So I've got Cathay.
Put a couple of them up there.
I'll get the minutes. Okay, yeah, I'll get a minute
Yeah.
for you.
This
But,
is normally your editing time of the week, isn't it, Suzanne?
Yeah, usually Friday evenings is it's a time when my husband works till 10:30, so I get a free evening to have a curry, and then
there it
do
goes.
some editing. Hey, that's nice, John.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Oh, you got surfers in there as well. I didn't call them.
I was so lucky at 4:30 in the morning. There's a lot of surfers down there as well, so it gives it a bit more context to the size and the size. But I've got that. That's Portland Bill.
Portland Bill's worth a fortune because you can't fly there anymore.
So I sell them for about 45, 50 quid across the road.
Wow.
Nice.
Can I ask a quick question? Is that matte or gloss?
That's gloss.
Oh,
So
that's awesome.
I told you I just bought a £800 printer.
Oh, Anson.
So
Put that back on again. Some people got too much money. Look at the size of that. That doesn't sound right.
no, thing is, right,
Free.
no. As a media company, as you know, I always contract my stuff out. But I did the figures, and it wasn't financially viable. So I went out and I bought all the paper. I worked it all out, so I can buy the frame, the paper, the ink, and the printer, professionally printed, probably, yeah, right. And I could do a A2 frame with an A3 picture, and I could do it at trade cost at 22 quid. And then A2 frame goes about 105, 110 quid.
Easily.
No brainer. So that's what I've been doing in the afternoon. He's doing all that for across the road.
Could I ask a favour, please?
Who?
Is there anybody
Oh.
because I can't do it at the minute. You know the link I sent you for this stream? Is
Yeah.
anybody able to put that link in the chat?
I'll do it now.
It's in Facebook,
Should
isn't
be
it?
able to.
Yeah, because if anybody that's in the chat actually wants to come on and see, have a seat on here, please feel free. We can have up to 8 people on here. Oh, Alan's been out flying today. Oh, yeah, brilliant video. Oh, he's put it on the Facebook group as well. It's awesome video, so it is. As he said, it's not very long, but he's recovering again, and it's awesome.
Here's the link.
Yeah, there's the link. If anybody wants to come in here, just click
Oh,
on that link. Your phone will do everything. You don't have to do anything else. Dave's in there. Dave 08. I was going to say, yeah, if anybody's in there wants to come in here, please feel free.
Yeah. be
I
part
don't
of the fun.
bite. Yeah, be part of the fun. Have you got
You might not.
anybody anybody flying this weekend?
I'm hoping to get out early next week. Me and Kirsty have been talking about taking her convertible out to do some similar shots to the video that you'll see next week with the undisclosed brand of car that Tony released earlier. I want to do something similar again, and Kirsty's got a soft top, so
video that you'll see next week
that'd be
with
nice to do again.
undisclosed brand of car.
I can hear somebody.
It's
Yeah.
all right. I just put my chat link on and it came up with the noise. Sorry.
Just
No,
turn
that's
your
all right.
just turn your hearing aid up.
Just heard myself. It scared me.
We've heard you. It scares us too.
Yeah, fair play.
Have you got
So
many
no,
videos to?
No one else going to join us then after those links been put on there.
Yeah,
Oh
get
no,
on.
they can.
Oh, guys, come on,
There's one.
you can win. We don't buy
Found someone.
much.
We're nice
Ah,
people.
hello,
Ah,
young man.
Hey.
Oh, I have to get rid of that.
Afternoon, evening, everyone.
Raymond.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Good, good.
Raymond, what time of the
I-
day is it over there?
Well, it's lunchtime here in
Ah.
California. That's why I decided to pop in. I thought I had misread your post, and it says drone launch. I said, wait a minute, it's not Wednesday.
No, we thought we'd do something different. Just anybody that wanted to come on and have a chat. So you're still at
Oh,
you've
more
got it.
people.
Yeah, it's lunchtime here.
Hello, young man. How are you?
Hey, I'm not bad, yous.
Excellent. Oh, hang on.
Oh, you were
Great.
asking if anybody's flying. I'm off to my local car dealer tomorrow because I've got a bit of a niggle with my car after the trip. But he's my friendly manager, and we are in discussions about flying the workshops and the showroom.
Ooh,
Oh,
Caroline. So,
That'll be
Dre, are
fun.
you-
That'll be fun.
Dre, are you on lunch break at the minute?
Yeah, it's lunch break in a minute, but we work every other Friday, so our Friday is like a rollover day. So it's only a short day. I'll be getting out of here in about 2.5 hours. Start my weekend, but I have flown already 2 locations today. I have to take care of, and then I got 4 locations to take care of tomorrow.
Wow, that's
busy.
more than even
Busy.
I do.
Yeah.
yeah, that's for work.
Dr.
though, isn't it,
Drone?
Ray?
Dr. Drone,
Yeah.
what is your actual name?
It's David.
Oh,
Or
David.
Dave.
Dave.
Yeah, or Dave.
Dave.
Another one. We got a full screen number.
I want to come in.
This is definitely a full screen. I've never seen so many people on here before.
We got a full house of 8 people. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Oh, that's better.
So you released a video today as well, Dave.
Yeah, it came out 8 o'clock, 10 minutes ago.
Oh,
nice.
So, if you're able to put the link in there, it'll be able to be saved as well.
Yeah, that's it. Oh,
Where are you, young man, today?
me? Who's that, for me or?
No, 308.
I am in Loveland, Colorado. I left my house without a drone this morning because it was so smoky, and I can't even
Oh, wow.
see the mountains from where I'm at. And usually you can, so didn't even bring one with me today. I'm actually swapping vehicles. So
You left the drones at home.
Bushfire.
Yeah, I
isn't it? You've got fires out there.
yeah, it was so smoky that, I mean, really the only cool things are if you go and get a sunrise or a sunset, because it is the brightest red or orange that you've ever seen in your life.
As John just said, is that to do with the fires? No.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. You must be
forest
close.
fires.
At least it's pretty bad because that's been on the news over here as well. So it is.
They've actually been shutting down roads because of the fires. Like they had I-80 closed, they had I-25 closed. Those are north and south through Denver and Cheyenne, and east and west through like Lincoln and Cheyenne.
Bloody hell. So, but they're nowhere near your houses, are they?
No, nowhere near my house. And I don't go fly those things because they usually have airplanes coming in dumping water on them and all sorts of stuff. And
Yeah.
don't really want to get any bad press for a drone being up when they probably have a temporary TFR.
Yeah, we had a few months ago. We had a really, really bad building fire here. It's a new building, this our tower block, and there was a bloke, and he was stuck on the top, and the building was all on fire at the top. And somebody jumped in the crane and was sending a cage over to him. And I had the local newspaper phoning me up, and they said, "Oh, Tony, would you go and get footage?" I says, "Not a chance." And they says, "Oh, but we'd pay you." I says, "I'm not doing that. That's somebody fighting for their life. I don't want anything to do with that." And
Better
they
tell
said,
them you want bond money too.
yeah, buddy, right. I'd want, yeah, that would be fun. Tony getting locked up. So, how many jobs have you got later on, Dre?
Tomorrow I have 4 jobs to do tomorrow. I have to do some put out some GCPs tomorrow, and I have 2 other sites that I normally do every month. I have to take care of. So
Bloody hell, you're going to be a busy
I did
man.
put out a video yesterday. I'll put it in the chat that I did of the bridge project that I monitor every month for the last 3 years.
Bloody hell.
So is that when you go to a site where they're building, you take a snapshot of the same every single month, then send to the client, so the client can see the improvement? Or
yeah, it depends on the client. Some want that progressive every month as the site develops, but some of the ones I do for the city it's just for as our engineering team to see the progress. Like the bridge project is a combination of state and local transportation authority, so I'm just doing it for our own archives.
Is some of your stuff done for safety as well, Dre?
Yeah, I do stuff for the city for safety aspects. Like if our public works is doing some training, I've done work for the tree crew, them doing cross training with other members, so to speak, of the public works department. So whenever that opportunity arises, I try to make sure it might be all ground footage in some area, but I try to mix it up as much as I can.
Ah, John, did you say there was a new drone or two coming out?
Oh yeah, I mean, I was just reading up on it on a variety of places, and I was just trying to get some details on size, configuration, and there's a couple of reports on the size of the battery, how it would work, and how long it lasts for. But I know there's one that DJI, is it Neo, whatever it is, to try to come out, and it says it'll last for about 15 minutes, and it's meant to be that obviously a very smaller version of the Avata 2, but I'm told you can fold it up, put it in your pocket. But it works on the same principle that you've got your controller, which you plug your phone at the top, and you just pop it out and fly. But it's only going to be about between $200-300. So I guess
the last I saw was on Walmart had actually listed it at $313, and it actually says that there's 3 ways you can control it. You can use an RC2 type controller, but it looks like a specific one. With goggles, you can use an RC1 type controller, or you can actually use your phone to control it.
Oh wow,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, but the thing is,
I don't think it folds up.
4K.
Yeah, I don't think it folds up.
4K. Micro Cinema.
Yeah, it's 4K. Yeah. But my question is this, right? I get asked everywhere I go, John, what's the best drone to get? We first want to buy into. Now, that's a very loaded question, but it depends on how good you are, how quick you learn, where you want to go, and what you want to do. Because if you look at the price now of the Mini 3, it's the same as the Neo, is that sort of price book. So, guys, one of the questions of tonight was going to be, if you're asked by persons of whilst you're out flying, how do you answer that question by saying what drone you should buy?
I always say go for
I would
for 3 or 4. Just because anybody new doesn't have to comply to any
HFCFDs.
many regs. So you can fly anywhere. It's small. You can progress to a bigger drone and learn that you've got to get certificates, etc., etc. So I always say go for a mini series. That's my answer.
A Pro 4, yeah.
Or even
Yeah,
you know,
I
it
think
depends
Mini
on
Pro
budget.
4
You know,
as
there's the Mini 4K now. You know, if somebody's just wanting to start out and they haven't got a lot of money, any of the mini series, but the Mini 4K is an option, and that's really cheap.
Can I ask a question to our nice American colleagues? Do you think the DJI is going to get banned?
They're trying awful hard.
Because I noticed
trying-
I seen
they're
another post
trying
where they're
awful
trying
hard.
again.
Yes, right now Senator Rick Scott out of Florida has already stated that he will be adding a proposal to the National Defense Authorization Act when they come back off of recess at the end of August. So once again, we have been advocating, people like myself, other YouTubers out there, advocating to people to call their local representatives to express their concerns, and I'm sure it's going to be a big brouhaha again, where they might even have Senate hearings with the guy from Skydio, and they don't invite this side of the table to give our accounts of what we feel or believe should be a direction that the government may want to proceed. But like I said, it's what we call, my old military terms, we call a dog and pony show. You do something to make everybody think you're being fair, above board, but you're stacking the deck in reality. Is what's taking place here. So I think in the long run, there will be some type of language put in there. I just don't know how extreme it will be.
I think
all.
that there are ramifications worldwide, because if you look
Yes.
at any global business and any global overheads, costs, and so on, if you remove the American market, the power, all right, the DJI still has its overheads. And the ramifications to us will be that if the American market does, and if it does, I personally don't think it will. I think they'll come to an arrangement. But if the American market was to be removed, then that would have an impact in the UK, in Europe, everywhere, and the prices will go up. Fact. That's not, what it won't happen. It will happen, because that's how the financial things work. They're not going to make all their staff redundant just because of the American market.
Yeah, I totally agree. That will be the fallout of any decision that comes out of the American government, that it will.
So can we help you?
Consumer. I would like to say yes. We like to get all the help we can, but when this is in the hands of our elected officials, it's kind of like we have to do it ourselves. This is in our own backyard. We have to. I always tell people before, like when I do my shows, I try to implore people that we need to come as a collective group. Not just quadcopters. I'm talking about FPV, RC, planes, everyone. We need to come together as one collective group. And I like to form it as a drone coalition. And we need to be able to put numbers. I don't know if you guys heard of Vic Moss, but Vic Moss is one of the people who visits a lot of folks at the FAA in Washington, D.C. He sits on one of the safety boards and everything else. But Vic is kind of like a appointed individual who can speak from the consumer end or commercial end, but he needs to have numbers behind him. That's why I say we need to have a large organization. Everyone signs up. So when Vic and a few other guys from Pilot Institute go before these elected officials, they're speaking on behalf of 500,000 people, not just them advising people on what the industry looks like from our perspective. We need to have that face because we have numbers. And I like to say, everybody cough up $5. At least we say we got a few dollars to to put in somebody's campaign, because here in America, two things speak loud: money and numbers.
Yep.
Those are two things that speak very loud. Either you got money to give to them, or you got numbers who can vote against them. Those are two loudest things that speak. And that's what I'm saying, that we have to come together here in America as a group, a united front, to express our concerns of what's taking place in Washington, D.C.
We have a saying here in the UK: when the USA has sneezes, the UK catches the flu, it'll end
Yeah.
up coming over here as well.
Yeah.
I think also we need to be very careful. There's again ramifications in the wider community within Europe and within the UK and so on. But there's also within a sector which is the armed services, because we see it quite on a weekly basis over here with the Ukrainian and Russian war. Most of it has been fought by bloody drones flying against each other, blowing each other up. All right. Now I don't know what the market sector is in America of DJI drones that the Americans currently aren't using, but would use should they need warfare, because we don't do hand-to-hand combat no more. It's all going to be, set away over the field.
I would
So
like
let's-
to just
let's
add
give you-
with that as well, is obviously Rotor Riot, who are one of the biggest names in FPV, got called out last month because they were affiliated with militarizing drones, and they have caused an absolute backlash in the FPV community because of that. Everyone's boycotting them because of it, because they pump money into it for consumer products, and they've used that to now militarize like drones, which they're denying, but they've also got a business and the CEOs are all affiliated with this business, and it clearly says on their website that they are militarizing units. So this is something which needs to be addressed with companies over there as well. So it's a bit of a shame that the hobby's going that way, but obviously because of the Russia-Ukraine war, drones have been used, especially the FPV side.
Well, not to be on opposite sides of that, Slim Jim, but this is way I would say in America how we view things, because our capitalistic system.
Yeah.
And myself as being a veteran,
Oh yeah.
if they don't make it, somebody else
Somebody
will.
else will make it. Yeah.
Somebody else
Yeah.
will make it, because everybody wants to make that dollar.
Yeah,
That's the bottom line.
I completely understand why they do that, but they were a hobbyist company, and then they've used all that funding to then pump into a military backing, and they denied it at first, and now it's all come out. So that was my point I was making. Obviously, if it's a military company using the defense of your country, that's what they do. But this was a hobbyist company, which people, I got into the hobby because of this company, and I've now found out that they've used money from people like me to then militarize things, and that to me is a bit wrong. If I'm pumping my taxpayer into the UK military, I understand that's where it goes, and that's to help our country. That's fine. But when it's a consumer-based hobby grade toy manufacturer, basically, and they start militarizing things, it was a bit upsetting to hear.
And I'll put it to you like this.
Yeah.
When I hear people talk about boycotting certain companies, every company has the right, everything else, to evolve to the next level.
Yeah, of
Now,
course.
I put out last Monday my view upon this boycott, and I asked them. I said, "Is anybody boycotting Boeing, Lockheed Martin, Grumman, Northrop Grumman, SpaceX?"
Yeah.
But guess what? All those satellites that SpaceX is sending up in the space, guess what they're being used for? Military purposes.
Yeah, of course.
Not
Yeah,
just-
there's
not-
always launches that
not-
they can't publicize
Right.
because it's
Like
military.
I
use.
say, you look at Boeing, Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman, the biggest military developers on the planet, period.
Mhm.
What they all
Oh, yeah, of
start
course.
off being? They all start off being commercial airlines.
Yeah.
They all built
yeah.
commercial airlines. But when the wars come into play, they started going to defense manufacturing. And that's where they've lived at ever since.
So
So
if
I always tell
DJI,
people, I said, be careful who you want to boycott, unless you're going to boycott everybody.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, I never really supported them anyway, but obviously, I just wanted to address a fact that
Yeah,
was relative.
and I
to
agree with that,
me.
because Rotor Riot falls under Red Cat, which is a
Yes.
parent company now.
Yeah.
And I guess they also have if you want a pair of Fat Shark goggles, guess
Well, they all
what?
got bought together, didn't they?
Yeah, they're all lumped together now. So, like I say, they're all part of the game. They're all
So if-
involved.
if
Go ahead.
DJI do get banned, is there an alternative that will take over and basically ship as many drones as they do?
No,
Not
there
at
is
this
no
point.
there is no American manufacturer that can match DJI drone for drone, as far as availability, as far as capabilities, and cannot definitely match DJI as far as affordability. It's just not
Yeah.
there.
Suzanne, didn't you say there's a whole lot of
Say again, David.
What's
I was
that?
just saying, would DJI be able to maybe get another company under a different name and just secretly just build the drones that way, put a different name on it, and sell them in America.
They have got
There's
somebody
a
already
couple-
that's starting
this
to do that.
Yeah.
amendment by Congressman Scott is supposed to close that loophole.
Yep.
That's what
The
people are saying
Raptor.
that Russell Warnash, which came out with the Anzu Robotics drone, which is basically a DJI knockoff, and also the what's the other one that came out of Hong Kong recently?
Was it the Raptor?
Oh yeah, the guy that made the Raptor. That's
Yep.
Russell Warnash. And another company came out of Hong Kong or whatever. But it begins with a C that makes a mirror of the Mini 3. I believe
Oh,
it is.
that's right.
Those companies are going to get caught up if they close the loopholes of, or as they say, manufacturing parts. You can't get around that.
Suzanne,
the
didn't you
part-
say there's a whole lot of rumors about all sorts of DJI drones coming out?
Yeah, it's there's 3 new DJI drones due out. The Neo, a possible Air 3S or Air 4, we don't know, and a new Mavic. There's quite a few leaks been made. The feeling in the community, and Ian in London did a good video on this today, is that they're being rushed out to try and beat the ban in America.
Bloody hell.
Yes, and I'm glad Suzanne brought that up because that's one of the things we're really concerned here in America is the FCC part of these bans. Now, those who don't understand the FCC, our FCC here in America controls everything that communicates electronically. Okay, our biggest concern is overall if they do decide to ban, and I say everybody says DJI, but they've also added Autel by name in this language by name, and it goes to manufacture. But when I'm getting back to the FCC, our biggest concern is we don't want the FCC to retro affect any previous drones that have already been released. They might be able to ban anything future forward, but we don't want them going backwards. That means everything we've already bought that's already been approved could technically be shut down.
That's a lot of money as well.
That is a lot of money, and will interfere with the whole industry as a whole. So that means we would basically cause a complete halt in drone activity. And it's kind of odd because right now they're having all these hearings and stuff in DC about the Trump assassination attempt. And one of the big issues now is that the Secret Service has admitted that they did not deploy their anti-drone or even their drone surveillance system because of this drone talk that is going on in Washington, D.C.
They're
yeah,
saying
they
that
were- The guy was
They
saying
didn't want to be seen as being one of the people who are using these small UAS drones, but they say going forward, they will be using them. I don't know
Yeah.
what brand they're going to use, but they will be using them in the future, like they should have
Yeah.
been using them.
the strange thing is that chap managed to put a drone up half an hour before anything started.
Right.
Here
Yeah.
in the UK, we have the skies are closed down nearly 2 days ahead of everything.
Yeah, here in America, we don't do it that far in advance, but usually about an hour or two before, just like we have large sporting events, racing events, things of that nature. You at TFR, we're going to affect about an hour or two before, and it'll stay in effect about an hour or two after the event is ended. And that's usually what happened here. This individual flew his own personal drone to get a tactical advantage prior to the event. But our own government agency failed to have their own drone, eye in the sky, which would have probably helped them to identify, to keep a visual contact on this individual. So I think this is going to help us in a way, because now we see a failure in security operations because we didn't have something in the sky. I think now it's about, do they say, well, let's keep what we got working until we have a replacement option. And that's what the only thing we can hope for at this point. Like I said, there's going to be some language. We just don't know how severe that language is going to be.
The last I saw on the amendment was that anything that's already pre-approved will still be able to fly,
That's
but
what we're
any
hoping.
future drones will not be allowed.
Right.
which
Yeah,
kind of
just-
that goes against the theory. Well, if you're going to keep what you've got at the moment and you believe it's sending information back to China,
Well,
It's sort of
that
defeats-
that was the
theory
thing I
has
saw.
gone down. has gone down the tubes as being an actual real threat, real theory, because as we've all said in our community, show us some proof. And even now, they had the CEO of Skydio come before the Senate hearing, and he couldn't even address the actual activities of that occurring. It's always that key word of potential, potentially, potential this, potential that. Well, I potentially could be the Formula One grand champion this year if I ever got into a car and raced.
Just going back to Suzanne mentioning the Air 3S or Air 4. Has anybody been following what's been said about it so far? Because there's something that's quite exciting. They're on about having LiDAR in the front of the drone, which means that will be absolutely outstanding for those who rely on optical avoidance, or it's also the ability to do focusing. And there's even the talk of it having a variable aperture. So with a variable aperture and accurate focusing, that could make some really useful footage because you can start controlling the depth of field. So
Yeah, it's supposed to be a 1-inch sensor as well, so it's a bigger sensor like the Mavic.
So that makes it a really powerful drone if all these things actually come to fruition. So you can do 3D mapping of stuff as well. There's a whole heap of interesting possibilities.
My only concern with that is in the commercial marketplace. Whenever I was in other IT sectors, when you've got a piece of equipment that is, because the Air 3 is not obviously as high up in technology as we see at the moment, the Maverick and so on. If they start making the Air 3, Air 4, whatever they call it, that high tech, then they're going to lose those sales with the Maverick. So I would say be cautious before you go down that route, because as soon as you make the midterm pricing, the Best Buy, then they're going to lose their flagship sales.
But then they're also going to bring back the Mavic 4.
Out. Yeah, which has a larger sensor and a larger gimbal, and allegedly is again going to be an improvement over what's already there. You know, you could see the level of what we have as the Mavic 3 Pro at the moment, moving down to the Air range, and the Mavic being possibly even. I mean, I've not heard anyone say it, but possibly 8K.
Why bring out a Neo?
I think the Neo will be an ideal solution for anybody who wants to fly indoors. Yeah. That's going to be the good one.
And I think the Neo that I saw, the propellers are completely encased.
Yeah.
135 grams. So here in the United States, it's going to be the Category 1, which means you can fly over people without any kind of waivers, special things, anything like that. And if it's got a 4K video, it's going to be perfect for that. Whereas when you have anything larger, you got to have extra cages. You've got to apply to the FAA for a waiver. You got to, which Vic Moss has done a great job in getting that available to almost everybody if they really want it. But now we even have like the Mavics. They got a parachute system that you can buy, so you can actually fly the Mavic 3s over people.
I seen that a few years ago, a parachute available, and I thought it was a joke, but it wasn't. It was for real.
No, it's not a joke.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've seen a video of it with actually working, and it brought the drone down fine, landed without any damage whatsoever.
Yep.
So going back to the original question then, when someone says to you, what drone do you suggest I get? It's very difficult to go, well, how long you got? Because there's 4 or 5 in the box. You could say, well, you can spend $200 and get this, but if you're competent, you'll be bored of it. You want to get a Pro 4. So, that's how this conversation originally started. So I always say, well, you mentioned about the Evo being indoors. That's not a lot of fun, really, is it, indoor? It'll be okay for a little while, but you want to be out and about, don't you, really?
Yeah.
I normally ask people, what do you want to use it for? That's my first question when they ask when I want to get a drone, what should I get? It's like, well, what do you want to do? Do you want to do like cool mountain divings, tricks with FPV, get all this cool cinematic shot? do racing, get FPV, build your own, or if you're not that competent, get into the DJI FPV stuff, whatever that may be. Or if you just want to get some like cool pictures, you know, go for like the Mavic Series DJI, or you know, and that's what the route I go down. So you kind of like get what they want to get out of it and then point them in the right direction, and then obviously you can find out what their budget is as well, and then they can go from there on their own chords.
That's
My-
usually
my-
my first
Usually once
question.
you say that, they say once you say that, they say, I want to do all of that.
Yeah, but they need to have a big budget.
As I say, my starting point is always if you're just starting, you need something that you've not got to worry about restrictions. So the mini series is the ideal starting place because you've not got to worry about restrictions. You can learn how to fly, you can learn how to take videos, and you can go from there. Because you know, I certainly wouldn't have started with FPV. That would have been way out of my league.
I mean, the other
I still
thing,
can't do it.
I would ask is the budget, and quite often I would actually recommend that they go second hand because you can pick up
Yeah,
some
because
great
you can
deals on
actually
Mini
get
3. You can get a Mini 3 Pro for £400 or £500 at the moment with extra batteries and with the RC screen.
I get emailed every day from DJI saying refurbished. You can buy now refurbished everything from the little cameras to all the drones. Every day I get an email from them saying buy refurbished.
There's a Mini 3 Pro in our local CEX with 3 batteries, £300.
It's a good deal.
Crazy money.
So-
You
so I have a
why would you buy a Mini 4K with no avoidance on it when you can have a second-hand Mini 3 Pro?
So I have a question for you all. How many people on here have the Avata 2?
I do. I love it. Never
Yeah,
thought
I'm
I'd do an
I'm too scared to buy one.
but they're a hoot. They're just a blast to fly.
I love mine.
I've not.
Because-
I'll be honest.
One.
I don't mean to interrupt, but I'm gonna have to hop off because I think they might have my car done. So
I'm gonna
No
have to
problem.
shoot as
Thank you,
well.
young
That's
man.
great.
get headed 3 hours back.
Thanks for joining.
to my
I appreciate your time.
Yes,
Yeah,
stay,
thanks for letting me hop on and see y'all.
no problem. Stay safe, young man.
Stay
All right,
safe
yeah.
in the
Have
fire.
a good day.
I'm going to jump off as well, guys. Just so you know, I've got to get the kids to bed and stuff. So it's great chatting with you guys again. And I'll see you all on Wednesday.
Yes. Thank you, Jimmy.
Yeah,
No, that's
Jim.
fine.
Cheers,
Hope you guys
Jimmy.
enjoy the rest of the show. Have fun.
And then there was 6.
We got room for some more if anyone wants to join us.
So,
Oh, could somebody put the
Stu?
link back in again? Because Caroline and them
Yeah, I'll
and
do it.
Yeah, I don't know how to do that.
yeah, the link's
Trey,
in there now. The link's in now.
Dre,
But
do you?
you said, oh, go on. Sorry.
No, go ahead, Dave.
No, go on, mate.
Dre, do you have the Avata 2? No.
No, I haven't figured out how I'm gonna make money from it, so I didn't buy it.
That's a point.
I have a business theory that if it don't make money, it don't make sense.
Have you got any interior shots to do? Because it's really good to be used indoors.
Yeah, like I said, I haven't had a request to do indoor. I say most of my work is construction work that I do. I do aerial mapping. I'm going into working under a surveyor to do GCP work. So basically, everything I do is construction related for the most part. So even what work I do for the city, it's all what we call capital improvement projects, paving, things of that nature, bridge work, stuff like that. So that's where I'm at. So people always ask me, what do I do for fun? I mean, flying, no matter what I'm doing, is fun to me. But I got into this because at the time when I got my first drone, I was an inspector. And I was inspecting these large Amazon-sized warehouses, to say. So instead of me walking a 1 million square foot facility, I would fly it. Because even when I used to walk them, I was only taking pictures with a point and shoot camera. Look at all the things I need to take care of or be reminded of for inspection purposes. Because a lot of times when the building is done and everybody's gone home, I'm the type of inspector that still comes back a year or two later and inspect what we call the drainage system of what's on the site. So I need to remember what was built on all these large warehouses as far as the underground drainage system, because I can't see it. So I need to know what was built, how it was built, and how it's supposed to function.
No, I don't agree on that one.
no,
But
The
going
Avata-
back to the
the
going back
Avata's
to
a-
the,
Go on.
going back to the Avata 2 there, I mean, I openly admit that when I go out every time, I take 4 boxes. I take my Pocket 3, I take the 4, the Maverick, and the Avata 2. And the Avata 2 is always the last one to go to if I'm out and about. But when I do get it out, it's the one I wish I got in the first place. Because after your adrenaline's going, your heart's beating. I think it is fantastic. But we all know it's a different angle, it's a different type of videography. But I just think that the Avata 2, I wasn't going to be FPV. I was never going to involve with it. It came out. I thought, I'll give it a go. So, but where do we see it going? Because we've seen so many people over the last 3 months, even with the drone show live, taking up the option of the Avata 2. Where do we see that going within our community?
I have to admit, Jim Thornley put pictures up today on the Drone Show Live page, and it's photographs he took this morning, all from the Avata 2. They are stunning. That's strange, hearing myself in the background.
I'd love to upgrade my Avata 1 to an Avata 2, but I can't justify the cost. And I'm married to a Yorkshireman, so there's no chance that I can have any new drones. No new drones until next year.
Hang on a
I've
minute.
agreed this-
You bought a new car recently. You bought 2 drones. You bought a new
Yeah.
PC, and now you're
Yeah.
saying you're not going to spend any more money.
And you're always on holiday in Scotland.
And you're always on holiday in Scotland, yeah.
We're in Scotland again in 2 weeks just to go and see friends. For
There you go then.
house, it's not costing us anything other than fuel.
Yeah.
But we normally go away in October. But because his cars just cost us a bloody fortune, that means we're not going away in October like we'd normally do.
Can't you
Tony,
pay Clara?
let me add this last bit, Tony. I saw some of the comments from Caroline, a few others talking about they fly for fun. My ultimate business plan down the road is possibly becoming a distributor or seller of drones. I want to open a storefront to be a distributor, DJI, Autel, whoever is still around at the time. And I want to be able to turn that over to my children and possibly my grandchildren. That is the long-term goal for me. So that's what I'm saying, that, that's where I'm driving this business that I'm running now, that we still will learn that part, but I do want to be a distributor down the road. It's something I can leave my children to, like a legacy type thing. And that's where I'm going towards.
That's quite good.
But the problem there, though, is how do you overcome the value of the business if you don't own the customer, or the contract, or the resale, or the parts, or the so, for example, if you become a DJI distributor, I'm not saying you should or shouldn't, whatever, and
Right.
they own the contract, they own the client. So if the client then loses the drone, they go back to DJI. If someone comes to your business and wants to buy your company, you have no value.
Well, I don't know how it works in the UK. Here in America, there's one term always used when it comes to business: location, location, location. Where I live at here in California, the nearest repair shop is 2.5 hour drive, which not be much to you guys, but here in Southern California, 2.5 hour drive, which is only by the mileage. But if you actually had to drive it may take you 3 to 4 hours for a repair shop. I have a DJI warehouse that's less than an hour away from me. But no one who lives in the greater Los Angeles area, Orange County area, other areas like that, no one comes out to where I live at. That's why I get a lot of work where I'm at, because no one wants to drive outside of the LA area to come out to where I live at. So if I come a distributor in my area, I have a captive audience. Just like you guys heard about Best Buy. You always hear the guys, Marcus and Johnny Drone Flyer, all those guys talking about they go to Best Buy or whatever to buy the latest drone that comes out. Best Buy is the biggest electronic and household seller in America. They have a captive audience. They don't have much competition. So that's what I'm saying, by me being a distributor where I live at, I don't have much competition.
Well, maybe
so
a bit
if you want to buy a drone,
market then,
whatever,
maybe.
you have to come see me.
Hang on a minute. Dre, do you need a
Yeah.
partner?
Yeah.
Well, I can say,
Tony then.
right now, I can say I have a Facebook page. I get calls at least several times a month because of my name, my company, Recovery One. People call me to fix their drones because it's just the name I have. And I say I'm not a drone repair guy, and I don't get drones out of trees and stuff. But I get calls already just because of my name, because they try to call other people, and they either get, we don't come out that far, or we don't do that kind of work. So like everything else, if you want to be, I'll say, somewhat successful or have a sustaining income, you got to look at what your environment is when you open your business. It's like I say, if I want to be a baker and have a bread shop, I don't want to put it next to 3 or 4 other guys that are baking goods and having bread. I want to be the only guy in town. So everybody's got to come see me. That's why I say location, location, location.
Is there anybody else want to join us in the chat at all?
Yeah, I actually got to pretend to go back to work. So thank you for letting me come on.
No problem. Thank you, Dre. Keep safe.
All right.
Thanks, Dre.
Take care.
Good to see you.
John, you were asking where the Avata's going.
I just thought, where's that sort of market space? Because to me,
I see.
Sorry, I just want to say this point, yeah. From a commercial point of view, yeah. For me, there seemed to be your minis, your Mavericks over here, and you had your hardcore FPV, and I think the Avata 2 has sort of started a little bridge. Does that
absolutely?
Does anyone agree with that at all? And that's where I'm thinking, why are they going down that mile? What is their long-term goal to bring out a piece of equipment that in some ways...
For me, I see it as we watch the really clever cinematic FPV stuff, not the flip-flops. And people who are making cinematic stuff are saying, actually, I can make my videos more exciting by having something more dynamic in there. And that's what I think it's done for me. I'm now splicing that sort of footage in, and I don't use any of the acro modes, nothing, and I don't intend to because I don't feel the need for them. But they're adding a whole new dynamic to the stuff that I'm doing. I've just done I've just flown a place called Lud Church, which is a cavern. There isn't a chasm, rather. I did put the Mini 4 up, but it wasn't the right drone to be using in that environment. So it's opened up new possibilities for me in what I can do.
Dave, what drone do you fly?
Myself, I got a Mini 4 Pro.
And how long have you been flying now?
I got that Boxing Day. I got that. I was trying to wait for the Boxing Day sales, and they never put it down. So I was like, well, we'll have to pay the money.
Yeah. The Mini Pro 4 is absolute diamond workhorse. Doesn't fail me, honestly.
Yeah, it's a brilliant drone. It's my second one now, but the insurance had to pay out for a night crash. But I've looked at the Avatar 2, and my step-on, he's got it, and I've had the goggles on, but I'm still a bit twitchy. I'm just like, I don't know if I could trust myself with flying it. It looks awesome, but it freaked me out when I first put it on. I was like, whoa, this is unreal.
It's brilliant.
I have to admit,
go on.
No, I was going to say I was petrified about flying the Avata, and then Brett said, "Tony, just put it on," and then because because I have to wear glasses for any reading, anything at all. Walking around, don't need the glasses on, but it's come to reading, watching TV, need the glasses. And Brett says, "Just put it on. You can arrange the things." And within 2 seconds, I adjusted these things. I was mesmerized, but it was like being in that drone. So it was.
The Avata, the FPV style Avatas, whether it's a 1 or a 2, give you just a totally different experience and the ability to do things that you wouldn't dare do with your Cine drone. I went to Skye, and on the way up to Skye, there's in Glencoe, there's a river gorge. Now, I'd seen it before when I was flying over it with the Air 3 and with the Mini 3. And I was looking and thinking, there's a gorge down there. There's waterfalls. That it's tight. It looks brilliant. That would be amazing to fly. But I didn't dare send anything down there, camera drone, because all it would take is one leaf, one twig, and I would lose the drone, and there would be no way of getting it back. So one of the reasons I actually bought the Avata 1 was so that the next time we're up there, I could fly that gorge. And this year on the way up, we stopped, and literally it was raining as we pulled up. The rain stopped. I jumped out. I threw the Avata up. I had one battery fly, and as I brought it back to swap the battery, the rain started again, and it was a case. Well, that's it. I've got the footage. I've got.
I remember
Amazing.
I remember it.
Flying down this 15-foot wide down to 10-foot wide, 20-foot deep gorge with rocks, waterfalls, and trees hanging in.
I was panicking watching it, thinking, well, obviously get it back because you got video from it, but it was that close. Like
this week, I've flown a place called Seven Falls, and I flew up the falls through gaps that were, I don't know. One of these gaps was 2'6" by 18 inches, and Suzanne's seen the video of my return trip. I flew up it twice, no problem. I tried the return trip and bottled out, even though I knew the drone would go through the hole. It's just such a different experience.
I mean, the other place I wanted to fly the Avata was the Fairy Pools in Skye, which is a series of absolutely crystal clear water pools with waterfalls in between, and it's in a gorge that twists and winds. I'm flying the Avata 1 up there. There were people swimming in the water. I got permission beforehand. I must stress that because drone code. But flying up there was just absolutely amazing. You're just flying over crystal clear water and within 12 inches of the waterfalls. The Avata gives you something totally different.
One thing I did find though, which is really good, you can use the goggles with a Mini 4. So I was able to use them with a spotter to do a car show, which I would normally have to be way up out the way. So with the goggles, you can fly the Mini 4 in FPV and lower, and it made the car show much more interesting.
I remember that, the Volvo one, wasn't it?
Yeah, the Volvo one and the full show, but it just allowed me to do something different.
If I can digress very quickly for David, question for you: with your Mini Pro 4, and again Susan and Mark as well, what's the highest wind speed you're prepared to go out and fly?
The way they all grunt, they all going, yes, we're not doing that.
the one that tells me you've got a wind problem, come back.
That's nothing.
It's a series. Mini 4,
before my accident, I've got a video of walking on the Naze. When I come down the Naze Tower, that was about 120 foot high when I was in line with the flag, and the flag looked like it was about to leave the pole. My drone was literally at an angle of that. And it was so strong wind warning a lot of the time, and I was hoping it as it was dropping down. But since my accident, I'm a bit more like skeptical of flying it now, because I'm a bit like, oh no, it's making a bit too much noise. I don't like it.
So when would you say, 30 miles an hour, 25 miles an hour, 20 miles an hour? Where would you go?
The last time I was in Tong, where we were going in a few weeks to see friends, we flew the Tong land bridge with the Mini 3 Pro, which was all I had at the time, and it was windy, and I'd had it up at the castle just above there, and it was really windy and it was struggling. But I thought, well, the land bridge is low down. What I didn't realize is it's very exposed, so I flew away from me at 35 miles an hour, no problems whatsoever. I turned around to come back, and it was 1 mile an hour ground speed. So it used most of the battery to come back. So I would say 34 miles an hour was the speed I was flying in. It was over a road, over a bridge. So if there was a problem, I could have put it down without actually dropping it in the water. But that was a bit too much. With the Air 3, I'll quite happily fly in 35 mile an hour winds without any problem. Castle Duntulm on Skye There was a steady 30-mile-an-hour wind, and I sent the Air 3, and it handled it without even blinking. So that's a very, very capable drone. The
My
Avantis,
Mini
though,
4, yeah,
they
yeah.
struggle in wind.
Yeah.
Your horizon is off center because there is no gimbal that way.
Yeah. So the Mini 4, I've had that where I've been flying and the wind's been that bad that the gimbal's been doing this and
Yeah, I've
actually
had that.
clicking.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
have to
that makes
admit,
your heart flicker as well when you see that.
It does, because you think there's something wrong with the drone.
The reason I asked the question is that I have no issue flying a drone anywhere, anytime, any place. But in the back of my mind, I always have this thing about wind gusting, especially because a lot of my stuff, as you know, is over water. I don't know why. I live on the south coast. There's
It's
water
wicked
everywhere,
over water,
and it's like, I just want to go. I mean, if I get the Pro 4 out and go 20, 25 miles an hour, your wind gust of 35, and you're at sea filming a ferry, and you lose it. No one's going to turn around and go, "Oh man, that's unlucky." You go, "Well, what are you doing that for?" So I was just curious, David.
That's why you have a bigger drone.
That's why you need a bigger drone. Yeah.
The gusts are the scariest bits because they could just flip your drone over.
Say again.
I said the gusts. That's the scary ones because they come all of a sudden. If they come too strong, you flip your drone.
Yeah.
then
And the
you
last
pick up the
question
phone and
was,
you go on to cover drone.
Yeah, cover drone saved my life when I went into the house.
Stolen ships has put ferry. No, what I meant was cruise ships. Sorry, the Gosport ferry, which you can see next Wednesday. By the way, if you want to see that with the Queen Anne pump it.
Oh, I'm in that video.
Yeah, we both made it, mate.
So what
Oh,
else?
that's
What else is on next week? Can we have a sneak bit of information, Tony and John?
You can actually.
It's
You don't have to tell us who's on. Just tell us, what sort of transport are we going to see?
Hang on a minute.
Tony's got better access to that than I have.
Yeah, I've got all access. Hang on, see if you recognise this one. That was it.
That's too much of a tease. Come on.
I have a feeling that was our friend Slim.
Oh, I like this one. This one. This will be the first one.
I know the last one. The last one's definitely going to be the Gosport ferry.
Is it?
But spectacular Gosport ferry.
Have we got any aircraft, or is it all ground and watercraft?
I think it's all ground and water. Actually, there wasn't. That's funny. Nobody sent any air ones.
Red arrows.
Did you see that?
Yvonne's got some footage, some really good footage. She was in the lakes, and one of the RAF fighters came through. And she actually turned and followed it round, and yeah, it was at or below her height. It was a good half-mile separation, so you only see it in the distance, but still.
Going back to the red arrow, she didn't send anything. Going back to the red arrows, please tell me I'm not the only one that's seen that idiot put his drone up where the red arrows were.
No way.
There's been a few. One of the red arrows. There's also one on the coast of Miami, at the American equivalent, the blue one.
Oh God, yeah, the blue arrow.
And they were coming straight forward, and they're like, I think he got caught. He's been done for it, but you think.
With the red arrows one was somewhere up north, and it was a flyby, and you could see them coming towards him, and they're coming towards him, and he doesn't move the drone, and he put it on one of the Facebook groups, Drone UK. He got hammered on it, so he did. He took it down. It disappeared all of a sudden. But why would you even think about doing that?
Crazy.
Crazy. You've got to check. You've got to check Drone Scene or Altitude Angel and check there's no flight restricted zones. And you've got to be aware if there's an aircraft in your vicinity and it's at your height or below, get your drone out of the way.
Yeah, get out of the way, get down.
It's hundreds to thousands of pounds of equipment that we've got up there, but it's their lives.
One of the things that happened to me was when I was filming that early morning, 4:30 up Glastonbury Tor. I got right to the top, and took the drone up to do a high shot. And I could hear a helicopter, and it was below me coming from Yeovilton, and it comes every morning, and it buzzes past. The local told me it buzzes past the Glastonbury tour, and the actual helicopter was lower than my drone. But obviously, I saw it in time and brought it straight down. And I was flying within reason. I checked the drone. There's no restrictions, but it's what they did every morning. A lot of fly past.
Yeah, they use Glastonbury Tour as one of their waypoints for training flights from. It's the Navy Air Squadron that's based down there.
Yeovilton, yeah.
So
Oh,
the day I made the videos for Hen Cloud and the Roaches, that afternoon, the whole area, in fact, the whole of the north of the country was in a temporary FRZ for the Red Arrows. So why anyone would fly in that time slot is just beyond me.
No, there is
They
some
call
strange
Blue
people.
Angel. Someone's written down here. Who's
Yeah, I
that?
just
Sage?
seen.
Yeah, I said
Yeah.
that.
I was just about to ask, has anybody seen Solent Ship's latest the crop circles that he put on this week?
Oh, one looked like a corporate logo.
He put 2 on, and one of them looks really professional. It's like, I don't know how they do it.
He always looks professional, his stuff.
They do it. They use a bit
No,
of
the actual circle.
No, they have a
Oh,
plank
right,
of wood. They have the string in their hand, and they have one bloke above, and they push the right foot down. They just go round pushing the actual thing down in a circle, making their thing.
No, it's not. It's ET. Anyway,
It's a work
Okay,
of
Tony.
it's a
Okay.
work of art for surveying to do.
I
it.
just think, I just think that third one that Solent Ships put on there looked like some sort of corporate logo, which leads me to think some sort of company's paid the farmer.
3 days ago.
cynical, but I paid the farmer to let him do it.
yeah, because part of it looked like a Christmas tree, and as the drone comes across, it looks, as you just said, it looks like somebody's logo.
Solent Ships, but they always happen after the pub's empty on Friday.
Stu's with me. Aliens.
Bloody
Stu,
aliens.
I think we're two spacers. Anyway,
So you're off out early tomorrow morning then, flying, yeah?
yeah,
I'm not
I've got to go to
ahead.
bed now.
yeah, because it's funny because Solent Ships is starting tomorrow morning at 4 o'clock because the ships coming. I think the ships are coming in. What's coming in? Ventura's coming in. Iona's coming in.
Princess.
Princess is coming in. So check out Solent Ships. He's going live tomorrow morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. John, that's earlier than us.
I've just subscribed to him. I hadn't been subscribed, I realised. So I've just subscribed to him.
Jimmy's just
Nice
said, "Who's landing?" Definitely. Lizard.
We're off out on Sunday. Not sure exactly where yet, but I think we're heading North Wales way. There's no FRZs that we need to worry about, so I think some cinematic Snowdonia is on the cards, and maybe a little bit of FPV
Oh,
up some of these streams.
Oh, I
I'm
got a point.
rubbing. I want to go back to Wales.
Oh, I did Wales.
I
I did
haven't-
Wales. Sorry, I did
haven't
Wales.
Up,
Won
probably
the.
not morning.
What
Is
you
it
mean to
not
say you're not getting up early for them coming in?
Poor show.
Oh, they're going back out again because I know Ventura goes out at half 4, 4 o'clock.
They do turn around quite quickly, don't they?
Yeah, they turn. I can't believe the size of them things, and they turn around. But no, I was going to say about you said about going back to Wales. We went to Wales. I went to Wales in lockdown, and like before, don't tell the government, but I left the house. But I went there to that dam, and the water was basically all gone. I flew through the arch, and then when me, Dave, and Liam went back this year, the water was right up to the top of it, and I thought, nope, won't be flying over that. Anyway, I think we call it a night.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah.
First one.
Yeah, I really appreciate you coming on. I know Suzanne's
Chat.
busy.
Oh, thanks so
Anything,
much.
really,
Yeah.
didn't we?
I just thought it was something different instead of just showing videos and waiting for another crop. Sorry, I can't help this. He's waiting for another crop circle. Please tell us where it is, and we might come and join you. But no, I really appreciate you coming on, and we
And
will be
hopefully we
back.
get a few more faces, a few more people on board next time we do it.
Well,
I'm
this
not
is
sure.
quite good.
it's a bit different, and it's good to actually just be able to have a chat about things.
Yeah, and it gives people a chance to come on here. So, because we're all in the chat on Wednesdays and nobody knows what anybody looks like, whereas something like this, it gives people a chance to come on. Oh, that's Mark. Everybody knows what I look like.
I don't want people looking at me. I don't want people looking at me. I have a face for radio.
Suzanne, I'm not silly. Do you know what I do every Wednesday now? I put myself down in the bottom left-hand corner and all the writing covers my face so nobody can see me.
Yeah, they were saying you looked a little bit like one of the Chad, from
I got called a few other
graffiti.
things, so I did.
Humpty Dumpty.
Yeah. And if I fall off the wall, you definitely won't be putting me back together again. Anyway,
You
thank
said
you,
you
everybody,
only have the signs at the bottom so people don't see that you're not wearing trousers.
I'm wearing trousers tonight.
I'm not wearing trousers. No. I'm not showing my leg.
I'm knackered after putting my leg that high. Anyway, stay with us. I'm just going to put the titles on. We will see everybody on Wednesday. Please.
On Wednesday.
Yes,
Good to see you all. Have a lovely weekend.
join us. Thank you. I really
Thank you,
appreciate
guys.
you
Have a
coming
good
on. I really
weekend.
enjoyed this.
Yeah.